Well, welcome, everybody. We appreciate you being here for this broadcast of the Group Travel family. We have a special guest with us today. Many of you know this company, but our guest is one of the leaders of travel and brings an important message to us. Our guest is Christian Libel-Cote, and Christian is the Senior Vice President of Global Marketing for and Business for Collette. Collette, of course, is the nation's leader in not just group travel, but one of the great vacation travel companies of the world. Christian, so nice to have you with us here today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Now, you at Collette have certainly weathered the last two and a half years of the COVID storm in the travel industry very well. And you have a pretty good message as to how you did it. And for those of you who are viewing this today, what I like about this is that Christian and Collette are willing to share this mindset to the rest of you of how we're going to get this thing back on track and make travel what it should be, what it's always been. So, Christian, go right ahead.
Yeah, so we're very, during COVID, it's things changed significantly for us at the beginning of COVID, which was officially about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. As a company, we've always had a rule is we don't earn your money until you get to travel. And that was true during 9/11, where we refunded over $32 million because of all the cancellations in travel in September and October of 2001. And then when COVID happened, we had the same policy. We want to have the ability to give each of the clients, the groups, the opportunity to, either get a full refund or if they want to move to a different date. And so during that period of time, we refunded over $150 million in cash to our customers, no questions asked. If the customer wanted to have a full refund, we did. We refunded not only the tour, the land portion of itself, but we refunded the air portion, we refunded the insurance, we refunded 100%. And the reason why we do that is because we feel that we didn't earn your money because you haven't traveled. And that was something that was very, very important. And, during COVID, we've been able to really look at all of the operational, because everything was changing on a daily basis. There were times where borders were closing and reopening the same day and closing again. There were things that were happening on a constant. So we were able to create an emergency operational team that is still in effect right now. And we've been able to run tours. We were one of the only tour operators that was able to safely run tours in September through November of 2020. And we did it with social distancing. We did it with masks. We did it and, never got any, knock on wood, we never got a positive case. And then from there, we were able to learn. And so when 21 happened, we were able to start expanding our travel to Europe, to Canada. We were able to really expand our opportunities for all of our guests to travel to the destination that they wanted and get the same experience that they paid for. And so in 2021, obviously we had to battle with the Delta variant. We had to battle at the end of the year the Omicron variant, but we were able to manage and take care of the clients throughout this whole process so that they were either able to travel, or if they weren't able to travel, we were taking care of them. So it's been a very interesting 2 years, but looking at 2022 right now, we're very excited that this is, we're at the end of this whole crisis, and we feel that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
I want to commend Collette, and I'm sure you were a major part of this, taking the position of refunding people who hadn't yet taken tours. When you say that Collette gave back $150 million in cash, that is a huge effort. And commitment. Did you feel obviously it was the right thing to do, but how did it return to you? Did your customers book back with you when you give them the offerings? How did that come back?
Well, there's a trust that was created. There was a trust that was created between the guests and our partners and Collette. And it's all about, one of the things I said to the team is, don't waste a good crisis. And this was one of the biggest crisis that the company's ever been through. I mean, we went through World War II, we went through the Iraq War, we went through all the different crises around, for the last 104 years. And so for us, it gave us an opportunity to look and say, We want to be a true partner. We want to be a true partner to our partners, but we want to take care of our guests. We want to make sure that the guests are protected. We want to make sure that they feel comfortable when it's time for them to travel again, to come back. And that's what we're seeing is, now that the Omicron variant is starting to slow down significantly, well, our bookings are starting to increase significantly, and we're starting to see great momentum for the future. And look, we're excited about it because we know that whatever we're going to do is we're going to take care of the clients and our partners the right way at all times.
I like that. To those people listening today and our viewers, Christian said something very important that I don't, he glosses over it because he lives it every day, Collette. But he said, in our 104 years, I want you to think about this. You got a company that's 104 years old, still family owned, still family operated. Christian is part of the family. It's part of a team of family network that makes it happen. 104 years old, and about 102 years into their existence, they still made the great decision to give back $150 million of deposits and payments, maybe even final payments, who knows, to their customers who they couldn't deliver a tour to. And they did it because it was the right thing to do, and also because these things come back. They built a trust with their clients, and that trust will return. A lot of us can talk about building trust. I don't know any of us, including myself, who've given back $150 million. So Christian, that's huge. Where do you see it going? 2022 moving forward. Do you have any words that you're willing to share to the rest of the industry, whether it be the travel planners or even just the rest of the industry, of how we as an industry are going to get this back?
Well, I think COVID has created a demand for travel. It's no longer a luxury; it's a necessity now. People miss traveling. They want to be able to experience things all around the world. And that's become now the necessity that they have to have. It's no longer buying luxury items or things that for them travel has become extremely important. So what I see for 2022 is in the next few years is a significant increase in travel demand for all types of companies, from the cruise lines to the tour operators to the Sun and Fun. You're going to see a significant increase, and the airlines obviously are seeing the same thing. Just domestically, towards end of 2021, the demand for domestic was almost as high as it was in 2019. It's just now the international borders were the issue. In 2022, what I see is international travel coming back significantly. I think a lot of the test requirements to get into a country, a lot of these countries are getting rid of them. The UK and Ireland got rid of those PCR requirements. A lot of European countries are getting rid of that. And, the US is, hopefully will get rid of their antigen tests in the near future because, we're seeing things moving along in 2022. So I think 22 is still, we're going to be able to recover throughout the year. I think Europe is going to be very high demand. I think domestically travel we are seeing incredible demand for domestic travel. People want to be able to go to the national parks. They want to be able to see the fall foliage. During the holidays in December, San Antonio, New York City, all of these unique places, New Orleans, all these are in very high demand with us. So we're seeing a lot of that. And then in 2023, you're going to start seeing countries like Australia, New Zealand being in very high demand for that. Europe is going to continue to be in high demand, but I do think that 2022 is going to be equivalent to 2019, but I think 23 is going to be even bigger. And it's going to continue to grow, and the demand is going to be there for sure.
I like hearing that. I'm also impressed that companies like Collette are out there leading the way, because if the industry doesn't get on board, start encouraging people and making it easier for them to travel, then it presents a barrier. And we as the travel industry have to be the ones who open the doors. And Colette's obviously doing that. You mentioned Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. I know that as Senior Vice President of Global Business, I believe you're in charge of business growth in Australia, Canada, and maybe also into the UK and some the domestic areas. I got to ask you with a bit of a smile there, because when you were getting your MBA at Babson College, did they ever prepare you for anything like this?
No, well, Lucky Babson would have gave you an opportunity. I was studying in international affairs, but going through the different rules that we just went through, where Australia had shut down completely for 19 months, the borders were completely closed. Australians weren't even allowed to travel domestically between the states, between each states. So to go through that, and to be able to not only survive but get stronger, and the team is even stronger now than it's ever been before, and the Canadian team is the same thing. And what we dealt with, in the U.S. and in Canada and in Australia, they're all very, very different rules, different regulations, but we are able to manage this and go through it and actually become at the end on the other side stronger. Like I said before, we didn't want to waste a good crisis, and this gave us the opportunity to make us even stronger.
It really is a great attitude, because it has been a crisis. Obviously, you at Collette have hit it full, accepted it, used it, and moved forward with it, not just for the good of Collette, but also for the good of travel and for the good of your travelers. It all goes hand in hand. And you've built the following and the loyalty and the trust. And I commend you for that. And as we move forward, do you have any words for maybe those, we're going to have a lot of travel planners watching us here. Maybe banks who have loyalty programs that for the past years have been shut down. They're great travelers, and they certainly know who Collette is. Do you have any words for the viewers here today that might be the travel directors of their bank clubs, how to get this back on track and why to do it and why it's so important to them?
It's people want to travel. They're researching right now. They're looking on their own. They want to travel, and having the opportunity to travel with a group creates a sense of security, because they're all together. They're creating amazing experiences as a group together, and this is the time. This is the time to start talking about it. Look, we've done very successfully our trips between September 1st all the way through the end of December. Well over 12,000 passengers traveled to Europe with us. We had 6 cases. That was it. So the travel is extremely safe. Travel is a great way to connect with your travelers, connect with your members, connect with your customers. And so right now, this is the time to do it. And it's only going to get busier. Demand is only going to get even higher. So I think at this moment right now, this is the time to start talking about travel. And it's not too late to travel in 2022. You have a lot of people that are booking a lot closer in than they used to. Just so you know, just this week, we had people booking. We had over 12 bookings. So 24, a little over 24 people booked for the following week. They're traveling the following week. They're all going to Iceland. So the demand is there. So the booking window is much smaller, and people want to travel. So this is the time to talk about it.
To our viewers, again, Christian's hit it right on the head. One of the things you need to realize is that the past 2 years, without being able to travel, has built up a huge demand. And I always look at those of you who have loyalty travel programs, whether you're a bank, an alumni, or traveling chamber, that you've got loyalty. That travel doesn't just see the sights of where you're going. It builds the loyalty to your program. And now is the time to do it. Christian's comment about, maybe it used to take 12, 18, 24 months for it to plan for a large program in advance. That time frame is now gone, because the demand is so pent up that, as Christian said, 20, 30 people call up and go to Iceland on a week or two's notice. I believe that your programs out there will do the same sort of thing, but you have to lead them to it. So you've got to have the courage to go out there and maybe say to your people, yes, we're going to travel. You would be surprised what that demand will be. That is the same attitude that we're talking about right now that Collette has taken to keep in the game of travel and to keep you in the game of travel. I mean, quite honestly, I don't just mean Collette here, but good qualified operators can make it very easy for you right now to get your program going again. The demand is there. Put it out there. You got very little to lose in this. Put it out there. Let a Collette or anybody else go after it and help you make this happen. I really have appreciated your words of wisdom and encouragement, Christian. Any last minute words for us to send us off?
No, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for the support that you've given us throughout the last 2 years. Without your support and putting the trust in us, taking care of your guests, taking care of all of you, we want to thank you for the tremendous support. Yes, we've been here for 104 years now, and we want to be here for well over another 100 years. And it's, we can't do it without your support and what you've done for us during the last 2 years. We've all went through a difficult time through the last 2 years, and to go through it together, it shows the true partnerships and who are the true partners. And so we want to thank you all for the tremendous support that you've given us. And we're excited now. We're excited about 2022. We're excited about 23 in the future. I think there's a lot of good things that are happening. And, we look forward to building a much stronger travel industry.
Christian, thank you so much for your time and everything Collette has done to make this happen. And for those in the audience, it's time to make it happen. Let's get travel going again through Collette, through any of your other preferred operators, but make it happen. Christian, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.